What is up, people? There we go. All right, we're in business. All right, we are ready for action. All right, we got about 10 minutes until open. No news. Most of you guys are pretty familiar with how I trade, but we got a long journey. I'm just gonna start by giving my little breakdown. I appreciate it, Sim. You know, over the last couple weeks, we have just been ripping like no other. One would think that more than likely this is probably going to all-time highs. I mean, when we just start pumping, we'll just clear everything, remove it all. When we start getting pretty aggressive pumps like this, like we are up 12% just from those lows earlier. And if we start looking at the higher time frame, we can see that everybody's more than likely trying to short. Like, we've been trying to short these pops, and we are ultimately becoming the liquidity. And when we start massively printing these higher time frame large gaps, like, they're all over the board. And you can see that every time we are creating these daily fair value gaps, we end up taking the highs, taking ERL, testing IRL, and making another leg up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start making move, because clearly, where is the market drawing to? Once we've tapped into these lows over here, like this weekly fair value gap, a lot of you guys have heard me talking about this area for a long time until we ended up coming down here. And this is where ultimately you wanted to start buying. And just look at the reaction from this level. All this level was a retest of our breakout into all-time high territory, which is completely normal and healthy for the market. And it looks very similar to this drop right here. This was obviously 25%. This was about 12.5%. So not as aggressive, but look at the reaction that we got here once we started taking out some lows and then aggressively started moving up towards all-time highs. We come down here, take out the lows, and a lot of this is deterrent on whether we get those Iran peace deals or not. And more than likely, by the time we get that confirmation, we are already going to be too late to the move. And so, you know, a lot of us are in that mentality to where, oh, we need to get a pullback in order to go higher. And a lot of times it's harder to realize real time, but I'm also one of those people to where it's like, okay, you know, it's hard to just long when we've been expanding for so long, but we've also been coming down since probably, I mean, October was when we made all-time highs, and we've just been finding a range, grinding down to these lows. And so, you know, kind of for the sentiment on today, we still got about 7 minutes, but if we look at how our time-based liquidity reacted, and, you know, we've swept both sides of Asia range. We have these long, tall wicks. We're lacking displacement above the highs. I just want to see a jab down somewhere in relativeness to this, which would be, you know, I'm not expecting such an expansive day because we are up on the week. We're up over 1,000 points. We can definitely keep pumping up, but it would make more sense to me to see if we end up closing these two daily fair value gaps. If anything, I would want some sort of slight move down. And if we look over here at ES, we have a clean H4 fair value gap right down here. And so if we could get ES to come test this level, which ultimately should pull the NASDAQ down, you know, we've swept out the highs. We're lacking displacement so far. There's 36 minutes left until this H4 candle close. H1, no displacement. So, like, you know, we need to really pay attention to how the market is going to react at this high. It'll be hard to catch the buys without getting some sort of retracement, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. If you're not already positioned in buys from previous, like earlier, it's kind of hard to catch that breakout because everybody's just in that kind of fuck it mode. If we just say fuck it and long, then more than likely, I mean, just what I'm scared to happen is if I just say fuck it and long and I'm waiting for these retracements, the one time I say fuck it and long, we're going to get that retracement. And so I just don't want to see that happen. But if we can get some sort of pullback down into here, you can see right here is where that H4 fair value gap is. Actually, this is that H4 candle low. H4 fair value gap is down here. This is where that daily low is. But we can just get rid of that. But I guess, does this make sense to you guys on, you know, like we need to pay attention to how we're reacting above these London highs. If we can jab above, anywhere above here, and then potentially get some sort of sell signal, sell model to take us down into these areas, potentially towards this low. Really just want to be patient today. You know, I don't want to be in these markets, especially right now. We need to be aggressive and defensive. We need to start protecting our risk because the market is kind of just, you know, it's booming right now. And so we just need to, especially on a day, I'm not really expecting much expansion, but honestly, with how everything's been going, we could definitely get some sort of, you know, pop until we start moving towards that true draw on liquidity. And then, like, this is the next draw up. So we need to see if we start displacing up higher, potentially start coming towards this level. Again, I particularly would want some sort of retracement to then go higher. Like, you know, it's a lot easier to buy the dip than it is to just buy it when it's ripping. But so other than that, we'll see how we start reacting, and then once we keep going, it'll be easier to break down, you know, really what I'm looking for in terms of catching the entries or the signals, essentially. We got about 4 minutes until we are live, and I'm more than likely going to keep it low risk. Until we get some more clarity, I don't really feel comfortable risking crazy right now. And so even if you guys do see me go in with crazy size, that does not mean, start following my sizing. I'm on 150K, so typically, I can withstand some sort of drawdown. And if I blow an account, I blow an account. I'm definitely human too. But I'm excited to have y'all here and see where we can take this thing. Because even yesterday, if you guys watched my Outlook video, we got about 3 minutes until market opens. So, I was talking on the 1 minute chart. If we got this close below, and it was right about here that we got that close below that I was looking for. So we got that signal that I wanted, and I even went short when we retested this fair value gap and then had my stops right here, and I just got blasted. In hindsight 2020, if we look at the hourly time frame, there's this very baby hourly fair value gap, and this is where I got smacked on. And so, I took a couple L's yesterday, but mainly just because I had that mentality of, oh, we need to get some sort of retracement down into here to then go higher. And yeah, boy, was I wrong. But even when I was taking the short, I was aware that this hourly fair value gap was here. And then once we started to kind of get that pop up, really where I wanted to buy was just a retest of this area. And then it never came. And so once this started happening, it got a lot harder to kind of catch that signal long, because this is where I wanted to long from once we had this displacement up. And then, we never really came back down. And there was probably some other entries, but you always kind of have to be aware of the potential downside that your trades could be taking. And so, it wasn't too bad of a smacking yesterday. I think I lost 30 points on my trades, but today is a new day. And so, again, I don't want to get too married to the idea of getting a pullback, but especially if we can keep lacking displacement at the highs, we might have to wait until the H4 candle close just to kind of have that extra confirmation if we're going to keep pushing up higher again. And we might even have a choppy day just waiting for this daily candle, but we'll see. We got market open right now, so let us see. And you guys will be able to see my position exactly right here. So you guys will be able to know if I'm in, when I'm in, where my stop loss is by clicking and dragging, where I'm looking for take profit, and so forth. And more than likely, I'll be talking about the trade idea before we even get started. So, oh, the stage is full. I might have to boost it. We're boosting it. All right, well, I guess this is what we got. I'm not sure how to keep boosting the server so more people can join. ES swept out the highs again. Again, I'm more than likely going to be a little bit patient today. M1 is starting to give something nice. But if we can sweep out this high like ES did, this would make me a lot more confident in taking some sort of sell. For some reason it won't let me boost it anymore. Does anybody know how? Oh, God bless Crimson. When I click boost this server, we might get this run to this high real quick. Let me focus up. It only, there's a limit on how many people I can have in the live at one time. So level 2 supports 150 people, and it says we need 2 more boosts to get to that level. And so yeah, and when I click boost this server again, it says we don't currently support upgrades to Nitro subscriptions through Apple. You can cancel your subscription through Apple subscription. Okay, we might get that run up here now. We can get this close above here. We should be able to run up towards these highs. And yeah, ES is pumping. We're only 5 minutes in. Yeah, so, you know, it might be unfortunate to some people, but oh, that's so fucked. Well, I guess the people that are here, y'all are lucky. Until we get it more figured out. But I'm just gonna focus on, you know, the trading right now, why everybody's here, and we'll figure it out tomorrow or after the stream. But okay, now that we are coming up on these highs, let's see if we can create a fair value gap here. If we can create a fair value gap along with this, no fair value gap, no interest. Was looking for some sort of change in the state of delivery with a fair value gap to potentially catch along up to this high. Again, if we have to wait for this H4 candle close, again, that is perfectly okay with me. If we, like, I would much rather be patient, wait for some more clarity, and be able to, and wait for something a little more clear, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm about to figure it out right now while we're waiting for some sort of setup. I'm just gonna cancel it on my phone. And then Zeus, you know, we'll see. I plan on having it free for at least 6 months. So quite some time. I'm not sure. Again, no real action going on yet. We don't want to be involved in this yet. You know, I'm sure some people probably took this IFEG. We need to be patient. And while we're waiting for at least a break of the highs, or potentially for this H4 candle close, or something that looks decent, trying to figure out this nitro. Okay, actually, I know what to do. I'm an idiot. For the people that can't join it, they can honestly tune in on YouTube. Can somebody check my YouTube and drop a link in here? I don't know if it's gonna mess up. Never mind. I got it. Copy. There we go. Yeah. Until we get the boost figured out, we'll just have to run it like that. But most of my talking and interacting with chat will be done on the Discord. Yeah, it's starting to rip. I mean, that's what we call a displacement candle. Looks like we're drawing up towards this level right here. We're above these highs. Kind of marking out some highs to see if we potentially, you know, either we get some sort of rejection up here and then do get that pullback, or we are just going to keep pumping up towards this next draw on liquidity. NQ is kind of lagging behind in terms of where we're at. So again, we got about 20 minutes until this H4 candle close. If we have to be patient. So now we've swept out that high right here. Now we want to pay attention to how the market keeps reacting above highs, and then potentially catch that potentially catch either some sort of rejection or continuation. We just need to get something a little bit more clear, you know. We got about 5 minutes until this M15 candle close. You know, do we lack displacement above these highs? Oh, I can get rid of this. Yeah, Insane. I dropped the YouTube link for anybody. I dropped it in the live trading. Yeah, there we go. I appreciate you, Cripson, for posting the link there too. All right, now that we've taken out these highs, I really want to pay attention here to see how the market reacts. Potentially catch some sort of sell if we can get a nice signal. And same thing on ES over here. Like if we start to aggressively, you know, because what we want to see after taking out liquidity is we want to see the market start to kind of fall away fairly aggressive. I mean, none of this looks very appetizing to try and catch some sort of short just yet. But if we do get a short, I'll be more than likely targeting, you know, somewhere down in here, somewhere down here. And then if not, like if we end up catching longs, really the only next area is somewhere up in here. Because like I believe the market is drawing up here. It's just what does the market have to do to get us up into this area? Like, can we find any sort of clear opportunity? Oh, this is the 6 hour. And then if we lack displacement above these highs on said like H4, again, I mean, I might sound like a broken record player sometimes to you guys, but I just really want to get the point across to make sure that we are fully understanding the way that I'm viewing the market, and you know, just to help you guys understand. We might get our action here soon. How has your guys' trading been going on for the month of April so far? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have Zeus. We do have this 2-minute IFEG here, but part of me wants to wait just a little bit more. And like, this is kind of what I was talking about. If we want to start catching some shorts, you know, look at how we reacted after taking out this high. You know, this is the type of reaction that you would want to see when trying to, like, you know, start to look for shorts. You know, I need to see a little bit more just because we have a liquidity sweep and an IFEG. Like, we could definitely start getting positioned for a short. You know, again, want to keep it light risk just given how we look on structure so far. But we might be able to save ourselves of a loss just by waiting for that H4 close as well. Well, we might just have missed the opportunity. All right. We're good. Just chill for a sec. Market. Start looking for these lows. Yeah, if this H1 candle closes like this, I really like the move to come down to something like this. We start going like this, getting rid of some noise. So we have a sweep of liquidity. We have a 2-minute IFEG. We have a change in the state of delivery here, signaling us to go lower, particularly. All right, I'm going to put a limit right here. Oh. All right, I got a limit here. I might add one more. All right, we're filled. I got my stops at this candle body high. If we make a new low, again, I'm going to keep risk pretty light. I think we're risking 1,000 to make 2,000. Once we make a new low, if we can, we will begin to, you know, manage our position. We'll move our stops to entry, potentially, you know, potentially take profit if you're in more than one contract or if you're trading micros. But the reasoning behind it is we have our 2-minute IFEG, we have a sweep of liquidity, we have a change in the state of delivery on M1, we might need to see a little bit more, but nothing on M5 yet. I really like the way M15 is looking so far. Yeah, we might get smacked here just waiting for this H4 candle close. But again, once you start to stack the confluences, and again, that's kind of why we're in light risk right now. We're not going to go too heavy just yet until we start to have that moment of clarity. We definitely could come and sweep out the highs, just waiting for, again, to see if this H4 candle closes. And if that happens, if we do get stopped out, I'm just going to wait for another opportunity and swing the bat again. What the? What? Okay. Oh, 1 second, guys. This is messy right now. Yeah, I really feel like it's just waiting for this H4 candle close. So we might get prematurely stopped. It might want to sweep out the highs again, but I like the logic so far. If we get stopped, we get stopped. It is what it is. But look at M5 even, kind of wicked. But we went in light risk, so it's going to give us more opportunity today, just in case this doesn't work out the way we want it to. And I really feel like it's just waiting for this H4 candle close. I mean, if we look over here at ES looks nothing like NASDAQ right now. So even on M5, we have a change in the state of delivery lower. I really like the move to go lower. The market definitely could play around, waiting again for this H4 candle close to really see if we get that lack of displacement. But again, if we do start to get some sell signal after this H4, yeah, we might get stopped out here. Yep. Okay. I swear, it's because I didn't have my stops at the high. RIP. All right, we're just gonna be patient on this next play. We took 700 on that one. But the logic behind it was that we had a 2-minute IFEG, 1 hour, almost lack of displacement. ES is lagging behind. I mean, I think that this one's about to fall. I really want to try and catch this short down to the lows. All right. Something like this, I'm telling you. I feel like something like this is about to happen. We got about 9 minutes until this H4 candle close. And if this goes without touching out the highs, RIP. That'll just be unfortunate that we had a little bit. We were just trying to manage risk a little bit, but to be honest, I still like the idea of us coming down. Just given that, you know, if we can keep lacking displacement, we're using displacement as our GPS. Honestly, should have just waited for this H4 candle close. I mean, we keep tapping into on NQ this H4 higher time frame order flow. And so again, kind of like what I was talking about, we keep tapping into these higher time frame fair value gaps and pushing up into the highs. So we got about 7 minutes to kind of confirm. I mean, ES looks like it's ready to go. We've taken out the highs. We have an M5 IFEG. To be honest, Sim, I'm kind of married to the idea of us, you know, taking that dip down, honestly. Unless we start to get closes above here. If we can close above here, you know, then we're kind of changing in the state of delivery to the upside, really just getting that move. Even on M5, we had this giant leg down. Still no displacement over London highs. So we got about, we'll see what this H4 candle wants to do. If we can start to displace those highs, you know, then the narrative kind of changes and we are moving towards that draw on liquidity. It's just, it'd be nice to take out some sort of sell side liquidity to then, you know, give us an idea on to get that move up. Like, just to show y'all, like, you know, I got smacked on that last one. So about 700 per account, nothing too crazy. You know, we roll with it. Do most of y'all in here trade the IFEG? I noticed some of the people from Playbit over in here, so. Order flow. Got about 5 minutes until we have that confirmation. I'm really looking at something like this. Yeah, I don't really trade the orb either. I'll throw it up just for like an extra confluence, but normally less is more. Three minutes until this H4 candle close. And if we lack displacement, again, then I really start to entertain that short idea. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, again, I'm just trying to catch that retracement so then we can start to look to go higher. But if we do keep on pumping today, more than likely we are going to end up coming up towards these highs. it's just, how do you find an entry clean in this type of price action? To me, I don't see anything that would even entertain the idea for me to grab along. Three minutes until this H4 candle close. Again, just being patient. I mean, same thing on ES. We had this change in the state of delivery down. We're retesting these fair value gaps. We are, does this give a bearish reaction, or is ES lagging and we are about to pump up into these highs over here? Because this is the next draw on liquidity. It's just, the way I would like to see it would make more sense to, yeah, and you definitely could do that, Kirksville. I mean, yesterday that would have worked all day just by longing into any pullback. Yeah, I mean, just look at the higher time frame. I mean, we might get that close over this high. And until then, for me, do we create a fair value gap? We could even potentially do something like this. I'm going to wait just for this H4 candle close, but we have a change in the state of delivery higher over these highs. So we could either long from this retest or instantly fail flip if we can, get some sort of reaction. We need to see how we react up here. Where's that high at? That we'd be going somewhere for up in here. I just need to see a little bit more. Currently, we got about 20 seconds until this H4 candle close. It looks something like this. All right, well, we closed over that high. Let's see if we can get a retest here. Yeah, nice H4 candle closes. I'm going to throw a limit down. If we end up inverting this fair value gap, then, I'm going to leave myself 3 trades today, just given what structure is kind of looking like. All right, we're in. If we make a new high, I'm just going to take one contract off rip. The idea is that we've closed H4 over this high. We have an M1 CISD. And if this inverts, it'll probably be my last play. Feel free to, this is where we want to start to manage our position if we can get up there. And then if we invert this, then the narrative, we might have to take one more stab at shorts. We're just trying to get a feel for the market. And right now the lower time frame is giving us bullish sentiment. And so I'm going to end up throwing a sell limit up here. If we can get that pop up. I mean, we have an M5 change in the state of delivery here. So with this close, we have an M5 CISD, but no clear displacement yet. That's my only concern so far, is we're only getting displacement on these lower time frames. And so if we can take out the high, I'll whack that first part of loss that we took. So I'm going to throw a limit here. All right, bang. Now let's move our stops to entry. Okay. Confirm. If you guys want to go break even, feel free. I don't like that it says this though. Stop limit. There we go. All right, so we are at entry. You know, we've kind of mitigated some of our loss. If you want, you can probably go break even. You know, if you want to take your profit, take the little baby L. But now we're trying to get that expansion to the upside. ES almost came up into this area. Still hasn't made a new high yet. So ES is kind of lagging behind. But we've made back some of our loss. If we took profit right now, we would be about break even. And we're sitting about $300 down. Shit, if it jumps up, Kirksville, I'm not upset at all. But for the people that are riding with us, come on, we're in green now. We're in green. And once we start to develop a little bit better displacement, then we can start to, you know, I'm looking for these highs. Somewhere up in here. Because again, I feel like most of the curve is starting to be like, oh, you know, we got to come down at some point. So I'm just going to draw something like this, you know, just in case we don't want to invert. We're floating about 30 points. Exactly, Jericho. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So, you know, we're floating. We're up about, like I said, just about 25, 26 points. So we want to keep seeing us put in bullish order flow and continue. You know, we have our stops at entry, so we're safe. If we get stopped out, that's okay. Honestly, I might kind of expect it. Just being that, you know, we have these daily candles to kind of, you know, do we end up creating this daily fair value gap? You know, even coming up into here on the daily, coming in to test these wicks. But, you know, we've mitigated our loss. If you guys want and aren't confident in the long idea, you know, feel free to take profit whenever you want. We might even be able to, if we don't get stopped out right away, you know, potentially, you know, what we don't want to see is these fair value gaps start to invert, get closes below these last bullish candles that, you know, here's our low. This is the low that supported this new swing high. So we don't want to start seeing structure come back down into here. Otherwise, we're going to fall back into this range, which is honestly isn't like unlikely at all. But where are we at? Yeah, so we're sitting right about here right now. Oh, well, that was disgusting. But did this trade idea make sense to you guys? Even though, you know, we mitigated our loss and we, you know, we took a trim and we have our stops at entry, we might get stopped out here. But honestly, being down $300 isn't that bad. We definitely could have just gotten our profit on the day right there. But, you know, we're trying to get this expansion move up if we are going to keep displacing. No displacement on the higher time frames. You know, H1, 53 minutes until close. You know, do we create an H1 fair value gap? We are still in. Oh, wow. Talk about an edge. Let me clear up some noise here. Make it a little bit cleaner for you guys. Ooh, who got scared here? Is anybody in this with me? Is anybody riding? Oh yeah, hustle kid. You know, we're floating baby profits. It's trickling right around break even on the day. We might get smacked out, but ES is lagging crazy. if we invert this, I might just cancel this and, kind of just reevaluate. Because if we look at ES is, you know, significantly, M15 looks good. H1 looks decent. Hey, good seeing you in here though, David. Yeah, if you guys want to take the rest of this off, I mean, it's only 10 points, but again, just to still kind of mitigate some of that loss, this would probably put me down $170 on the day. But we've inverted this fair value gap, and what bothers me is ES not pulling up right now. Like, again, I feel like today is going to be a little bit choppier of a day, but and then even just, do we start to fall back into the range? We've came above the highs. We have an M1 IFEG here, so potentially start to kind of, we might flip. We might flip into sells. If we start to get closes below here, get some clear displacement, we might get that sell signal down. Yep. So we got tagged out there. Sitting down 300. That. Sitting down about 380 per account. All right, well, now we got more bullets. So if we start to get closes below here, we have the IFEG. This would have been the cleaner entry, but does something like this start to play out? Something like that. I'm not going to take the IFEG. I'm going to wait for a little bit more extra confirmation. I mean, no clear displacement. I mean, you could consider this displacement, but normally you want to see like the follow through to really see if we are displacing. Like, yes, the candle's closed over the high, but typically you want to see, you want to see some more before we can consider it displacement. But again, I just want to, kind of clarify, did that trade make sense to you guys? And if not, like, what is your concern? Or like, what is confusing about it? Yeah, we'll see if we can find another opportunity. Right now, nothing looks good. I wish we didn't get stopped out right here, but again, we were just trying to manage risk, mitigate some of our loss. And if this thing just pumps up, I mean, we were ready for it, but again, we got to manage our risk the best that we can, especially in this market. Oops. Oh, so T-Slice, you're still in? Ah, so you missed the initial buy limit. Dang, yeah, that's tough. But I mean, shit, it happens. And on to the next one. I don't know how much. Again, I don't know how much opportunity we will end up getting today, just given, again, like the way this daily structure is. We could pump up till probably about another 30 minutes, but and possibly catch a 10:30 reversal. I really want to see us, form these daily fair value gaps, test them, and kind of do the same thing. Do we get an ERL sweep up in here, and then come test this internal range liquidity, and then pump up again? I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense. It's just more so trying to catch these longs up into this area. I mean, it's a little difficult without getting any sweeps of sell side liquidity. I mean, once we took out London lows, if we go to the hourly chart, you can see, and like you guys will probably hear me say this a lot. Like, we use displacement as our GPS over significantly high or significant highs and lows. How did we react over this high? We closed a nice hourly bullish candle. How did we react under all of these lows? Or even, right here. We can see that the market in this little area right here is not giving us, we're not getting that down move that we want. And like, you can use that just by looking at, okay, we have this hourly fair value gap here. We have these hourly lows. And so how did price react in this area? I'm sure this move right here faked a lot of people out, but that's why it pays to kind of wait for that higher time frame confirmation, because this is an hourly candle. So like, I can, if we drop down to a lower time frame, we can see what price was doing in that leg. So this is that leg down that probably faked some people out. And then, immediately once we came down here, we started getting that buying pressure and starting to push up. And even right now, we can see that, we did get, of course, we barely got stopped out, and now the trade is running, but that is okay. I'm honestly not tripping. We aren't down much on the day, but there is a blessing and a curse to going BE, and one being getting stopped out like that. But I mean, when you're trying to play with some size or manage your risk the best that you can, you got to do what you need to do to, just not sit here and blow accounts. Yeah, the hourly's starting to come in nice now. ES is starting to push up. Man, what a pump up. No change in the state of delivery lower. So, I mean, ultimately, we could have moved our stops down a little bit more until we had that sell signal confirmation. And like, that a lot of times that's why I don't really like to just wait for one IFEG to be the all tell all in my model. Like, a lot of it, when you can start to stack them all together, okay, if we had an IFEG and we got closes down here, then it's like, okay, bet. Now, I'm a little bit more confident in catching that sell. We might be able to snag a little bit more of buys on this move. Yeah, I mean, really up here is the only areas that I can see as to where we could be going in terms of higher. So yeah, our limits were fire. I mean, we had our limits, where were they at? Right here. And so we just revisited them. And then now we're starting to get that move up. But, ES is now taking high a day. It looks like we are starting to move towards these highs. Unfortunate we got stopped out, but again, just on to the next idea. I appreciate you, Zach. And then eventually, this is kind of where trading gets boring because you're just simply waiting for the market to kind of do what you're looking for, and you'll find a lot more success, not forcing shit and just kind of flowing with what the market is giving you. If you're not seeing your setups, I can promise you guys there's going to be opportunity tomorrow. There's going to be opportunity pretty much every single day. Yeah, like Kirksville said, boring is a blessing because then you know it's working. I mean, we're all looking at the same charts, and if you're not getting what you want, I mean, there's really no point in trying to force something, because then I feel like when you're trying to force something, your emotions are all over the place. You're essentially just guessing, like, oh, let me just flip a coin on if this is going to go up or down. And honestly, anybody can do that. But when we have, like, in a sense, patterns or things that we like to see, and most of what I'm looking for is how does the market react to higher time frame order flow along with liquidity. I feel like those are the two things that you need in order to kind of excel in the market, watching at how the market reacts at highs or lows, especially on the higher time frame, and using that displacement as your GPS. And using that higher time frame displacement, we can see and begin to see very clearly that the market is racing towards some point of liquidity. Like I was saying this morning, I mean, where are the most obvious highs? We have this daily high and then this high above here. And we might even be able to catch a sell here soon. Now that ES has swept out the high, we got about 16 seconds. All right, I want to see how ES is reacting above here. And so even look at here, that's why I have this indicator, so you can kind of see lack of displacement. I'm going to try it. I'm going to throw a sell on. We're going for this IFVG play. No. We have these hourly lows right here. You can put your sell stops at the high if you're not that confident in it. I'm going to do the candle body. But ES has now swept out the highs. If we are going to continue pumping up, which is very possible, we want to start to see closes below this low to kind of give us that. We have our IFVG. And then if we can get a change in the state of delivery, which this is not really the close that we wanted to see. Ha, shit, Starling. You might get blessed and I might get burned. Yeah, it looks like I might get burned here. Yeah, we might get clipped on this one too. Here it comes. I'm telling you guys, we will get some sort of down move eventually. It's just, do we have to take out this buy side liquidity up here first? No, this isn't the reaction I was looking for from that IFVG. So if we get stopped, it is what it is. On to the next trade. We had that IFEG, no CISD lower. Ooh, yep, there we are. Fuck. And we're back down to about $800 down on the day. Whatever. No move lower. Took a bite on that one. Yeah, honestly, if I ever say anything about a short at this point, just fade me. Just start clicking the buy button, because this is crazy. I mean, any sort of down move that's happening is instantly getting bought up. Like, the only thing that concerns me is we're not getting any displacement on the lower time frame. I mean, we're above all these highs. We're starting to, push up. Mainly, we'll see how ES reacts above this high, and because as of right now, we are just no kidding. Well, I'm gonna throw an alert on here to see how ES reacts, because we are clearly drawing for this high. Man, our initial longs were golden. Yeah, this shit is just ripping. And I think we're just going to continuously rip until, honestly, there's not even any high impact news on the week. Like, I think we do have unemployment claims tomorrow. Yeah, no high impact news today. Oh, good stuff, Cripson. Unemployment claims tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. So hourly candles looking good. We might be able to get one more trade. I got room for one more trade. I don't know about if I'll be able to catch the longs. We were in some good longs at first. I only like this IFEG simply just because ES was taking out the high, but we didn't get the reaction that we were looking for from that. So like, the market isn't ready to sell off yet. And that's why I just keep thinking that, we gotta be moving higher. And we might just have to say, make the fuck it and long model and just literally just say fuck it and long. I mean, it would have outperformed everything this week. Yeah, this shit is just ripping. And we are back to just being patient. I probably won't take an IFEG until we get that extra confirmation. I mean, I kind of went against what I had just talked about by not waiting for that change in the state of delivery lower. But I just like the fact that we're starting to push up. I am fully confident that we are going to get some sort of retracement eventually, but we just keep respecting all of this bullish order flow. And something that you could have done to look like, just from a higher time frame standpoint. If we look at the weekly candle, this last up close candle is what induced all of these moves down. So we have a series of down close candles moving towards a footprint or a liquidity pool, where this fair value gap is. And this last week's candle close was kind of your signal that we're going to keep going up. We have a weekly change in the state of delivery up, along with, we have our weekly fair value gap test. And if we keep going up, we have these monthly fair value gaps. Right here is our monthly CISD with these monthly fair value gap tests. And if you look, we came right into said monthly fair value gap. And just again, look at the reaction from it. More than likely, I strongly believe we are on an all-time high run. The only thing that's going to pull us down is if we get some sort of catalyst that is bearish. Unless, Iran says, screw your peace talks, we are going to, let's go to war. Down about $850 today so far. Oh wow. Does this audio sound better? I bet. I'm dead. I didn't realize that it was pulling audio from my camera up there. I paid for this expensive ass mic and I wasn't even using it. But it does pick up everything. I need to kind of mess with the grain settings and everything, especially in here, because there's like echo. Yeah, I gotta mess with the grain. Does it sound better here though, or than what it was? I bet. Oh, dude, it's great. Besides, you walk out of the house here and you're spending $50 every time. Every time I have left this house, I'm spending $50. At this point, I've just accepted it. So I got a big Amazon cart coming so I can start cooking at the house, because yeah, it's not fun. It's nice, but compared to what I was doing back home, you could go. I see some people are from back home here, but you could go to this spot called Bagel Boy back home and spend $5 on a bagel. Out here, you're getting whacked for $15-20 for a bagel. Ha, yeah. Oh, gee, I'm about to request the DoorDash. Man, our first entries would have been freaking. We were in like probably right. Yeah, we got in right here. Would have been high flying. But oh well, on to the next. Bagel. That shit's hilarious. So now that ES is coming up on this high, man, it is kind of upsetting that we got stopped out of our longs, because we would be cruising in profit right now. It's just I keep getting married to the idea that, like, a lot of what I was talking about this morning too, like, I keep getting married to the idea that we have to get that move down, or we need to get that retracement. And more than likely, we're not going to get it until we start taking out these highs. I mean, ES super close to these highs over here. So ES was lagging behind. You know, we're getting that. I mean, everything is just bullish. Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat, trenches, but it's just, you know, how many days are we just going to continuously pump up? If we really push to all-time highs without getting any, like if this is just straight up and no retracement, I will be very surprised. Like if anything, we wait for these daily fair value gaps to form, potentially get, you know, it's 10:30 now. It does not look like we're getting that reversal. Oh, if that happens, I mean, just RIP, because me and probably a lot of other people were, you know, getting stuck there looking like dummies trying to short. And the part that makes it unfortunate is I just want to short for better pricing to go long, like for better buying opportunities. But the market is not giving us, like, we already had the great buying opportunities to, you know, down here. And then, you know, we even got that daily fair value gap here. We got the daily fair value gap here. So we are getting those tests of the daily fair value gaps to then induce going higher. And so now that we have these double stacked ones, you know, when we do get our leg down, we could come all the way down here and still be bullish. You know, that's 751 points. You just have to watch how we react at each set of lows to then, you know, you'd want to wait for some sort of bullish reaction or bullish confirmation to then take us up higher. Hopefully we can get these tests before, you know, before moving up. I mean, that's in a picture perfect world. And the market never wants to be picture perfect nowadays. So, hell yeah, Starling. So you're up on the day? You guys say bagel? Bagel? A bagel. A bagel. A bagel. Yeah, it was good. And of course, we just, you know, trying to be risk management, because we all see the potential for downside. And so if we do start to get that slide down, I don't want to get caught holding a position. But Cripson did a really good job, you know, just having a little bit wider stops and, you know, essentially not going BE after that first TP. Because, like, even though we are pumping up, I mean, just kind of look at how choppy it is. It's not very, you know, we're not getting clean. You know, we're starting to get clean displacement legs like here. But yeah, Cripson, you did a good job on, you know, having a little bit wider stops, especially in these markets. And, you know, hindsight 2020, we probably could have left our stops a little bit lower, but I'm from South Dakota, Starling. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just you know, trade management. And so we just want to, um, you know, the long was good. The long was actually perfect. We followed our plan, and so we cannot complain about it at all. It's just once ES kind of took out the high of the day, that's when we kind of flipped that short, and we did get burned on it. But now we are honestly just waiting for us to come up and take out those highs. Uh, you know, even on ES, we got these M5 fair value gaps here. Potentially could wait for a pullback down into here and kind of just catch that last bit of the long. We'll see if we can get a retracement. You know, even longing from here doesn't look as pretty as long from where we were. And for us to get stopped out, 149, risk reward. I don't know if we'll get this move down here. But as far as what structure is telling us, just trade the trend. I mean, we are bullish, so I feel like if it's anything like yesterday, I mean, we're up, 200 points on the day so far. $218. And a beautiful IFEG from the lows. I mean, we swept out these lows, lacked displacement, tapped into H4 fair value gap, IFEG, and we're now starting to displace those highs. It's just how long are we going to continue this displacement upwards? I mean, we have these clean highs here, about another 100 points up. Sensei, when did you have the same entry as me, or were you a little bit late to the party? Oh. Are you trading options? We're about to get a change in the state of delivery lower, but we are tapping into an M5 fair value gap. Does ES end up front running this high? Is it coming down to this bullish fair value gap to then go higher? Or is this that type of sell that we were kind of looking for? 1030, potential 1030 reversal. Feel like an idiot if I keep trying to short this beast. But like the idea is, here we have our change in the state of delivery. Here we have this fair value gap. This is where you would go short, but I'm gonna sit this one out, and you'd be looking for a new low at least. I mean, M5. It would take us just to the M15 fair value gap, which in about 4 minutes. Yeah, I might as well just ignore that one. And same thing on ES. Are you trading options, Sensei? But this doesn't make a new low. I mean, good thing I didn't fall for this NQ scam shit again. Here's that M5 fair value gap. Again, what you want to realize when you're trading these markets is, where are we getting these bullish footprints? Where are we getting, we can see here. Oh, my mic or my mouse might be dying. Oh, we'll wait till it dies. Hopefully it doesn't die when we're in a trade. Like we keep creating these higher time frame footprints, testing them, respecting them, and continuing on up. It would be interesting to see if we can make a new low from here at least. I mean, we have the change in the state of delivery. We have, we're getting these displacement candles down on the lower time frame. So when you got to think in the lower time frame, we're thinking lower probability. You'll get really good risk to reward and you'll get those picture perfect entries, but you might take a couple losses on the way, just trying to get that. And we use our higher time frame for context and then we use our lower time frame for entries. So yeah, if anything, I think we might as well just wait for ES to take out this high, watch how the market reacts, and then, again, if we're trading the trend, this is what you want to see to kind of find that continuation. We might be able to snipe a last bit of the long. I mean, what we want to see is, and if we can end up sniping just enough to go break even. I think I'm down 870 today per account. Oops. No change in the state of delivery up yet. What you want to see if you did long from any of this bullish order, is anybody just chilling in longs or took their own plays today, even though just kind of listened to what I had to say? Oh yeah, Alex. Good stuff, Nico. Oh, hell yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, so you guys are eating. While I'm sitting over here trying to frickin' today at least. It's all good. It's all good. I mean, yeah, she's pumping. Yeah, Sensei, I recommend sizing down. If you took 2 wins and 2 losses, I don't know what your accounts were sitting at before that, but looks like there was latency on the YouTube stream. I wonder if my audio was even working over on YouTube. Oh well. All right, now we're starting to get, so we're delivering from that M5 fair value gap. We're getting a change in the state of delivery on M1. We should continue to kind of, make that move. We should start to get, that move up. We're respecting the higher time frame fair value gaps. We're inverting the bearish legs and price down. We're creating bullish structure. No clear displacement, and I'm sure as we get later into the session, oh, but it's echoing. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll work around it. Again, very basic. We'll call this the beta of Trade by Jay Discord. So now that we got that change in the state of delivery, again, we should start to see this thing start to move up. And like as we continue pushing up, we want to continue seeing displacement above the highs. ES is very close to this high. So even if we do chop around a little bit, I would be kind of surprised if ES doesn't take out this high right here. So we have an alert on it because I want to know when ES takes out that high. And if we start still creating more of this H4 bullish order flow, I mean, yeah, honestly, just literally take out a loan and click long. I mean, fuck. I mean, do you guys have any questions while we're just kind of chilling? Feel free to, ask away, and I'll answer them the best to my ability. Oh, thank you, Todd. I can see the YouTube chat now. And so, yep, here's this M5 reaction. We came into the M5 fair value gap. We're getting the M1 change in the state of delivery up, and now we are starting to deliver up higher. Just at this point, I'm kind of just tape reading because, we're starting to get extended away from kind of where we were in the beginning. I mean, we were in some pretty good entries down here for 56, and we did have our TP up here, but again, I mean, we got stopped out by, a difference of 3 points, and then we ended up taking that short loss, but it is what it is. So the first trade idea, even though we did take this L right in here, we took one L, we took that one baby W, could have went break even, and then ultimately, like, this one was perfect in terms of, the bias was right here. We just got kind of chopped up on the lower time frame with this move down, and then that's kind of where we went short off of the IFEG. Should have waited for the extra confirmation, especially with these market conditions, which have been tricky. Like if we would have gotten candle closes below here along with the IFEG, we would have been stacking multiple confluences, which would have, probably induced that move lower. We didn't get a change in structure lower. And now we are ripping again, kind of like what I was saying at the beginning of stream. The market is finding that draw on liquidity, and it's not going to stop until it gets to said high or low. Yeah, Zeus, right now it's stairs up, elevator down. So, Patty, Patty, typically given with where we're at in structure, you can start to long from these M5 fair value gaps or like from these displacement fair value gaps. It just gets a little bit trickier because you want to do it at points of structure. But in theory, you want to see these fair value gaps get tested, respected, and then move upwards. And so, you could have caught along in here. You wouldn't have really had confirmation that we were going to move higher until, here's this last up close candle. And here's our series of down close candles moving into that fair value gap. once we closed above here, like, and I was kind of saying it as we were closing up here that we should start to get that move up. Like this would definitely be a premature entry. But you have to be aware of that if you are going too long from these bullish footprints. And then if we kind of invert the bullish footprint, kind of disrespect it, even if you did, I'm sure that the position wouldn't have gone too crazy out, but you could have had some soft stops if we inverted it and simply kind of just looking for this area up in here. The thing with soft stops is you could have hard stops down here, but that's almost 40, 50 points of risk. Yeah, Keaton, market conditions are kind of fucked right now, but we live and we learn. We weren't risked too crazy today, but we'll keep it going. Hey, I appreciate you, Hustle Kid. I'll probably stick around for at least another 30 more minutes. The gray box highlighted above is I took the hourly time frame and I just kind of drew it from this candle's high and to where this low right here, because if we don't invert this giant leg and price down and like we kind of start to play around up here, Royden, we potentially could get some sort of rejection from here. I ultimately think we are drawing up here, but it may or may not happen today. And so, I really just want to see how we react once we kind of start coming up into here. If we can close an hourly candle, we got 5 minutes until this hourly candle close. And if we don't invert this leg and price down, that's what we want to see. We want to start to see all of this, even it's very similar to where we are on H4. Do we invert all of this bearish order flow that was put in right here? We're starting to fill these fair value gaps. And so it is way over here, but we need to use it as targets as to where we are going. And man, it is just unfortunate that we got stopped out all the way down here. We had the right idea. Oops. But again, on to the next trade. We won't get too caught up on that. Zeus, I'll probably mainly just be trading over here. I'm trying to grow this community, so it would make more sense for me to just kind of push the free education and just keep building this out and seeing what we can do with it, if that makes sense. Alex, I haven't hit the gym yet today. I went on a walk this morning, but likely it is leg day, and I've been dreading it because I've been going on runs lately, and my shit is sore. Yeah, Dev, go ahead. If we continue displacing this high on ES, we have these next clean set of highs right above here. I do really believe that we're going to get some sort of seller reaction from one of these highs. I'm not trying to get too bearish. I just want better buying opportunity. And, when we fall or when we do get that retracement, it's going to be quick and it's going to be fast. And, honestly, anywhere up in this gray box, T-Slice, I don't know where you are in your trade, but you could even wait for ES to take out this high. I mean, when ES takes out this high, you could probably start to trail your stops more aggressively. But from our original long idea, we were looking to, take our final TP up in here. So, but everything's looking good to hold your longs. I mean, as of right now, there's really no reason to sell. It's just Royden. I'll probably be live probably 2 to 3 times a week. Wednesday and Thursday for sure. You know, Tuesday I'm live in that other Discord, but at least Wednesday, Thursday for sure. Potentially Friday, just to send you guys off on the week. But yeah, that's kind of just what I'm thinking right now. But again, I'm going to constantly ask you guys if, yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow too. But yeah, no, I'm gonna constantly ask you guys if, what I'm doing is making sense. And, because like that's the whole goal of this in general. It's not just a signals chat. Like I want to make sure that you guys are, understanding what I'm talking about and why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. And I want to be fully transparent with you guys that, as you guys can see today, I'm not God. I'm going to take losses, and as long as we are managing our risk, like we're going to be okay. It's just obviously right now, the idea was right. It was just poor trade management, and like I wouldn't even call it poor trade management. It was just more so following my trading plan, and we were already down after that first trade, so I was simply just managing risk the best to my ability, so that way we didn't overextend ourselves on our first day. I mean, it's only my first day here, man. But we're going to figure it out, and eventually you guys can start to get results like this. Yeah, I am, for the YouTube chat, I am using a Discord. I need to figure out, I wonder if I can chat with you guys and post it in here. I need to figure out how to get you guys up there. I wonder how I can. This is all a learning curve for me, so bear with me as we go through this journey together. But well, now I lost the chat. Okay, let me know if this lets you guys into the Discord. Here, see if you can click on this this link. Does that work for you guys in YouTube chat? Yeah, Andy, the first one that we took today, or the first one we got smacked on the move down, we were just honestly looking for a sweep of some sell side liquidity. I feel like out of all of this bullish momentum, we haven't taken out hell yeah. No, I'll do that, Cripson. Out of this whole bullish move and this bullish momentum, we haven't been taking out much sell side liquidity. And so that's what makes it hard, to kind of just sit in these longs, because the moment that we start taking out sell side liquidity, it'll get a hell of a lot easier to catch and be more confident in some longs. And T-Slice, dog, what you should have done is waited for a candle close below here and really get that change in structure on M1 to go lower. Even though we had the IFEG, same scenario as that second loss that we took. We have the IFEG, but no real buy side liquidity taken, and no change in structure. And so we keep getting these IFEGs, but no follow through on them. And you really have to ask yourself, where are we taking these setups? And I think that we have, even higher to go, because ES is still lagging behind in terms of where we're at on the charts. Right here is those highs. And honestly, I'm just sticking around to, wait for these highs to get taken and then watch how NASDAQ reacts. Then do we start shifting structure down, lacking displacement above those highs, to then, kind of catch those shorts. And then, it'll probably be my last play of the day. We might not even touch anything else today, but might as well just chill for opportunity. But I want to get you guys in a position to where you guys will get to feel something like this. This is just the results from December to where we're at right now, April. And that's just on this firm in general. So, you want me to refresh it, refresh. Or like even if we go over here. All right, Alex, let me just go hit up my, one of these dudes at the Equinox. And yeah, I got news, buddy. I'm gonna hit 315 a lot before you get 50K in payouts. They call it the TRT stack. Leeward. Sometimes, sometimes the most obvious are the ones that we're obviously going towards. You can't get too caught up in the noise and the fluff. And with this type of monthly, we're now green year to date. We're green year to date. And like honestly, it makes a lot of sense when you start to think about it from an outside experience, because if let's say we go into some economic, we're going to war, economy's going to shit, and we're approaching midterms on the elections, how is that going to look for Trump? You really think Trump is going to allow us to, really be, in that mode? Is he really going to, it makes him look bad. And obviously we can see how much influence that man has on the market. And so you kind of got to think about it from almost an outside view, like what makes the most sense. And some of you guys have heard me say it, but I have this model that I'm working on, that when my mom texts me when the market's at all-time lows and she's like, oh, should we start selling our stocks, all this war news and blah blah blah, that's when I'm taking out a loan and I'm clicking the buy button. And every time it's worked. I mean, she texted me about gold. Oh, should we buy some gold? It's at 5,000 whatever an ounce. I'm like, Mom, did you just see it on CNN or what? Like, why are you buying at all-time highs? Like, you must have just seen it on the news. And like instantly I'm like, okay, we need to start selling. And then yeah, but I'm kind of putting her on game now, so I don't know how long the inverse mom model is going to work, because I'm like, Mom, when you start seeing it on the news, that makes me want to fade you more than ever. And so we'll see what the mom model brings in the future. But again, still just being patient. We could have longed from that M5 fair value gap, but honestly, with the way I like to trade it, it wasn't the cleanest. You do it in points of structure, T-slice. So I don't know, where exactly you were long at. If you want to share your chart, go ahead. Real stuff, Royden. Yeah, share your chart. Typically, you do it at points of structure, and it depends on the time frame that you're looking at. Because like even here, here we have an M5 fair value gap. We're creating those bullish footprints. Do we get that test here? And do we test? I mean, it could be even up higher. ES hasn't taken out this high yet. Does ES front run this high? Do we start testing those bullish footprints? There's really nothing clean on ES in terms of where we potentially are going. But, okay, if this ends up happening, we might be able to snag something. M15. It's just unfortunate that it's hard to short when you're shorting into bullish order flow. Because right here, it's not the cleanest change in the state of delivery, but we have these series of candles that moved up into this liquidity point. We have a change in the state of delivery here. Whoops. We have this IFVG. Let me take a look at M1. Okay. Here we want to form a fair value gap. We might be able to snag a scalp here. Just into here. If we tap this M15 fair value gap without creating a new low, I want to be a little cautious taking this. I don't want to get clapped on taking another short because ES hasn't taken out this high. Does the market want to make that move up higher? Something like this. 480. I mean, it's not the best risk to reward. I mean, the model is there though. We got about 46 seconds. Whatever. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna put my stops right here. I'm just looking for a little scalp to that M15 fair value gap. My stop loss is right here. So we have this displacement move down. If M5 doesn't give that confirmation, we potentially could get chopped, but we have a change in the state of delivery down. We've tapped into this area. We're just looking for either a new low, which lines up with where this M15 fair value gap is. If not, no inversion on M5. We do have the change in the state of delivery. Yeah, we might cut this one early. No M5 inversion. That would have been nicer to get. We have the M5 CISD right here. And it simply might just be, waiting for ES to take out that high. That would be fire, Alex. Yeah, we might close this one a little early. Yeah, I'm closing it. ES wants to take out that high. It's not gonna work. No inversion here. We did get this M5 CISD. And I swear, if this ends up taking a turn down, I might be sick. We are down 1,500 per account today. No dice. I think we're just reacting bullishly out of here. And even here, because here's the change in, here's the change in the state of delivery. I got you. We have this change in the state of delivery. Yeah, so I saved us very poorly from that loss. But, Yeah, we would have got clapped. I'm not, you know, it's the unfortunate part right now because any type of sell has just not been working. All right, there's the high on NQ or ES. I mean, fuck. I mean, yeah. Any type of sell signal is just, it's just not working. Yeah, I might, you know, end the trading on that. Leave myself some room for the still. I'm down about 1,500 per account, but you know, even though they did get stopped out, you know, I was aware of the risk in we didn't invert this M5 fair value gap. We had the M1 starting to give signs of a reversal, but I think it was mainly just because ES did not, whoops, you know, we got the change in structure lower on M1. We tapped up into this area, and then, hey, see you tomorrow, Royden. But now ES has swept out the high. M15. I mean, this thing could definitely just play around until this H1 candle close. Since I missed the mark probably a couple times now, I did try a short made by Mick, not just now, but I was trying to. We had this break in structure. We had the IFEG. I was trying to take a scalp down to the M15 fair value gap, but we respected this M5 footprint, and now continuing up. It's just I need to flip that narrative of trying to we're gonna call it being cute, and you know, trying to get those short opportunities to go long. It's just you want to see the market come to these footprints and basically hold it. And so we have 45 minutes until this hourly candle close. I would be paying attention to, you know, this new leg in displacement up. Yeah, we're made by Mick. We're liquidity at this point. And I'm sure you and myself are not alone. Hey, see you later, Dev. It's really just because we're finding that buy side liquidity. You know, everybody, the market is not going to stop pumping until it hits that point of liquidity, and I think it's up here. And you know, I honestly, I don't know why I keep shorting. I need to get it out of my brain. But it makes more sense to have that. It's not even like I'm looking for a full reversal. I just want to see a move lower, you know, to go long. I mean, can we just retest some sort of H4 order flow, or do we just keep, you know, pumping? I mean, we haven't retested any of this points of structure. And so, you know, I feel like once we get, you know, a nice sweep of some highs, we can come retest all of this. I mean, if you look here, ES is not far from all-time highs at all. We're not even 1% away. And we might honestly even just pump right up into all-time highs, which is the scary part. But, you know, because I'm sure you and myself you know, trying to catch this short has not been working by any means necessary. And so I'm sure we're not the only ones trying to catch that short to go higher, but I ultimately anybody that is shorting the market is just getting squeezed out. Like, we are just nonstop ripping. And so I'm down about 1450 per account today. Nothing too bad. I mean, we still got drawdown to work with, but 26,240. Yeah, this would be the next high, at least, Mark Ken. So up here is really where you'd want to see how the market reacts. Same thing with ES. I mean, we got this 7,042. Made by Mick. Honestly, just soak it in. I don't know how long you've been trading for, but even during, this time last year. So if we look at last year's price action, when we had our crazy dip, if we look at H4 time frame, there was times throughout this whole leg down where I was wanting some sort of retracement up higher, and we did end up getting them, just timing was wrong. And so here I am trying to long. My bias is bearish, but it wasn't giving me the retracements that I wanted. And so clearly, because the market is moving towards some draw on liquidity, like I was kind of just saying previously. So ultimately, if you we just have to kind of just trade with the trend. It is hard real time. Like even you guys see me struggling with it right now. Because obviously it's like, okay, we're up 3,000 points in the last week. How can we keep going up? How? And like the banks have to be, they know how we're thinking. They know that we are, thinking like this. Like, oh, a bunch of, I'm going to call us retards, retail retards are like, oh, all these people are probably going to click the short button thinking that we have to come down, but watch us melt face and pump up to all-time highs. And so, ultimately, if you keep getting smacked trying to, trade against the trend, the best thing that you can do is just honestly size down. And it's going to be the time where you go against the grain of what you're thinking and just say long, because at this point, throughout these last 3 days, we've been trying to catch that retracement to then go higher. Whereas if you just clicked long, we'd be cashing checks today. But even just same sort of scenario over here. Like we pump up, and then eventually you do get the retracement that you're looking for, but it needs to start taking out some significant highs, really where that market is truly drawing. We were getting retracements on H4. Let's take a look at the daily. We could be getting something very similar to this. Here we have our gap up. We create these two fair value gaps, and then here's our third candle. And then we ranged for a whole week, and then we came all the way down, retested it. And so, yeah, I'm more than likely done too, Sensei. But does that make sense though, made by Mick? I feel like if you just stick to the higher time frame, because look at where, we're right in this area. If we just wait for NQ to come and take out some sort of high, or instead of an M1 change in the state of delivery, because again, here we have another M5 fair value gap. How have we been reacting to, even though I'm wrong, I can still read price and explain why I'm wrong and what happened. Any trade that we have taken today, we've been trying to catch on the M1 time frame. And M5 never really gave us a shift to down. All we did was just come in, retest bullish order flow, make a new leg and price higher. Retest bullish order flow, make another leg higher. Not saying that that's going to happen here. But, how do we think that the market, is it going to continue following this trend that it's been following all day? And so, are we going to hit this M5 fair value gap and continue up higher? Only time will really tell, but, this high of this box is that hourly high. Let's see how ES is reacting. We got about 2 hours till the H4 candle close, because above this high, same sort of scenario. right, I might actually have juice for one more play. If we can do this, and then if this is the one fair value gap where I actually decide to long from, I mean, just shame on me. But like, the theory is we are now getting closes over this down close can. I'm probably just gonna call it a day. Honestly, we went 1 for fucking 3. So that one trade, if we would have just been figured out how to hold it and manage our stops, it would have been good. But I'm just gonna throw this up and kind of show a paper idea. Like we have an M5, we're still expanding structure up, potentially something like this. I'm not gonna take this trade, but this is really the idea. We want to see this M5 fair value gap hold, make a new high at least. This is where you'd start to manage your position. And I don't really want to keep taking risk today. I'm down 1,400 per account. I want to, kind of let things smoothen out, but this is the theory. Because all the market does is move between highs and lows. And if we can create, this higher time frame order flow, clearly the market is drawing up even higher. I mean, again, if every short is getting invalidated, I mean, how much longer are you going to keep shorting the market and getting burned? When I take a loss, I get emotional and overtrade. I mean, it's definitely, I guess I have to just say, Sensei, are your trades having logic? When you are overtrading or consider yourself overtrading, does what you're what you're looking at, is there logic to it? Do you know why you're entering, or what's your reasoning for entering? And if you are having those moments of overtrading, like especially in moments like this, and unless you're on the right side of the curve or you're just constantly getting smacked by the market, fire Alex, you need to start sizing down. Otherwise you're going to be constantly stuck in that style, or that cycle of blowing up accounts and just honestly feeling hopeless in the markets. What is the downside of hedging risk by taking a short and a long? Well, it won't really let you do it on these prop firms, but like, let's say you, yeah, pretty much. The only way I would recommend hedging is if it's on like your options portfolio. And like, let's say you have a giant long-term equity portfolio, but let's say I'm long a bunch of tech companies. Like I'm long Apple, I'm long Microsoft, I'm long Oracle, like AI, all that shit. You could buy long dated puts, and like, let's say you see some short-term opportunity to where the market could be bearish, but you're still long in stock. And so, yeah, I would ignore it completely on the prop firms. It's not going to work out. You're definitely going to get burned. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it's only going to work out if you're trading equity. Like if you're trying to hedge your long-term portfolio. Other than that, GG's. Alex, most of what I've learned is, a lot from experience. A lot of this stuff comes from me trading my options portfolio back in the day, and I mean that didn't go well by any means, but yeah, a lot of it is from experience. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years now, and like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I'm human. I definitely still take losses. I mean, you guys just witnessed 3 of them today. It's not like it was anything crazy. We still have room to live for tomorrow, and that's the biggest thing. Yeah, a lot of it is technical analysis, Tyrone. Yeah, this thing, trenches. I feel like this thing is just going to keep pumping up until we, start making a move for this high, or even right in here, 221. Hey, see you later, Mark. And that's where Sensei, that's where risk management, really plays a big factor. And I feel like why a lot of people do overtrade in general is because they think that this one trade or this one, opportunity in the market is going to get them out of the trenches and make them rich. But you're not going to get rich off of one trade on a prop firm. All these prop firms now have a max, like you can only collect a max payout of so much, that one trade is not going to get you out the hood. I promise you. Like maybe back in the day, but now that prop firm is kind of mainstream and glorified, I hate to say it, but that one trade isn't going to get you out the hood. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so you need to be aware of that. And like that whole mentality of like, okay, these small base hits, these base hits are going to, it's going to change. Like they add up and you get that snowball effect. And, does that make sense? Like your wins are going to compound, and you trying to look at getting one opportunity to, basically make you rich. How do you think that you're going to react? Like, even if you do hit big on a play, how are you going to react after that? What makes you think that you're going to maintain the capital to, keep trading it? Like, what makes you think that you're not going to be like, oh, it's all just numbers? I don't know what size you guys were trading with today, but at the end of the day, my $1,400 loss might be somebody's $400 loss. And here's that M5 fair value gap. Even though I've made more money in the markets, my risk, it's like I said, it's all just numbers. Even though I'm making more money, I'm now risking more money, which in turn, I can lose more money. And so, until you guys start building that confidence or have money to manage and work around with, I mean, essentially, yeah, that risk management for me was the biggest piece of the puzzle. That is what changed the whole game for me. So how do you disconnect? Like, how do you tell yourself to stop looking for setups and divorce your bias? Alex, even today, I mean, you saw, for example, and, you saw the initial trade idea on where I thought we were going, which was initially up here, but, in real time, hindsight 2020, we were long right here. Where were we at? 9:30. We went long. Where were we at? 1 minute. I think we were long. Yeah, we were long right here. Where was that trade at? I want to say it was, here's 9:30. We got the close over this. Oh yeah, so we were long right here. We were long right here. And so like on this trade, you know, my whole initial idea was to go long right here. We took the short here, got stopped out. You know, quick stop out. We're like, okay, maybe the market's drawing up a little bit higher. We see these clean highs up in this area. ES has clean highs up here. And so like, you know, I want the short to then take me up higher for better buying opportunity. But doing that throughout this whole week has just been fucking me. Like it really hasn't been working out. Whereas if I just kept my initial idea after that first loss, I mean, like I said, we would be walking away and, you know, we would be chilling. Does anybody know how to get this to go back up? I don't know why it does that. Damn it. All right, but anyways. But you know, it is something to work on in real time. And even sometimes, like again, I'm not God. I struggle with it sometimes. Like, you know, I want that short to then go higher, but what is the market showing me? What is the market telling me real time? Like, how is the market reacting to any lower time frame sell setup? Has it been working? If not, all you got to do is just zoom out. Zoom out. Where is the market drawing to on the higher time frame? What is the higher time frame showing me? Because this higher time frame will eliminate a lot of the noise that you're seeing. Exactly, Alex. And so when you're going through that type of situation, you know, and it's because you keep thinking, man, I need to get this payout. You're thinking of what that money is going to do for you, and you know, you're getting addicted to, oh, if I smack another trade today and I'm one more day away from the payout, I'll be able to pull out an extra $1,000. I can't tell you how many people that I have talked to that have essentially gotten one day away from a payout, but they're like, oh, let me just build a buffer. And they've never gotten a payout, and then they blow it all up. And it's quite simply just greed. I mean, most people are just greedy. Like, whereas if you just took that one payout and, you know, now you have more money to buy funding if all else goes wrong, and, you know, people are just chasing these. Yeah, see, Zaya is one of those people to where he was talking to me about building a buffer, and I'm like, dog, you've never gotten a fucking payout. Like, why not just take the money? And so when that starts happening, Alex, like, you know, I have moments of drawdown and moments of, like, us as traders, we need to identify those moments and, you know, kind of, we need to identify those moments, and what's going to define the trader that you are is how do you react in those moments of drawdown. You know, how are you reacting when the markets are going against you, or like, you know, you're constantly just taking L after L. And like, ultimately for me, it's, you know, even if you got to take a few day break or even take a week off, like, again, you cannot get that FOMO, like, oh, if I was on the charts, I shoulda, coulda, woulda caught that trade. When in real time, I mean, your mentality and your emotions are already fucked up and all over the place. There's no guarantee that you would have even reacted to that because you're so addicted to the money value. You, like, you know, you're just chasing that dollar. You're you know, whereas if you just focus on one account instead of copy trading all of these accounts, and like really just slow it down. Like, okay, I've gotten paid before. I know I can do it. What am I doing wrong? You know, like starting to practice good habits again, and, you know, really just following your rules. And then, you know, you hear a lot of people say that, but in all reality, I mean, it's honestly what it takes. Exactly, Zeus. You know, prop firms is for this intraday. Like, it's not easy being right every day. And exactly, see, you realize what you're doing. You know that, okay, if I follow my rules, I've never lost an account following my rules. But, you know, you're going through this downward spiral, just chasing that payout. Whereas if you just chase the good trades, you know, the growth curve comes with it. So, and like kind of like Zeus says, I mean, prop firms are intraday. This is where that, you know, that's the only way I'd play options nowadays. Options back in the day ruined me, and yeah, I would definitely feel a lot more comfortable taking an option swing than I would an option day trade nowadays, unless it's for something quick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the next time I'm going to play a 0-day option ever again. I mean, I have severe PTSD from it. And, like, the quickest way to go broke is trying to get rich quick. Yeah, like, again, the compounding wins in this game are going to last you a lifetime. But, guys, you know, just for full transparency, we also got smacked today. So we live to see another day. We're down about 1,400 per account. You know, we were right initially. Going BE a little early stopped us out, but it is all good. You know, we live to see another day. More than likely, I will be live tomorrow as well. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I'm dealing on 150K accounts, and so I'm down 1,400 per account, which is well, you know, well within, you know, the way I like to see it. I'm well within my risk parameters. And again, if I blow the account, it's all good. Like, those trades that I took today, we were caught up on the lower time frame, but I would take them. You know, I'm not just gonna sit here and take trades I wouldn't take on stream just to get something pumped out. Yeah, you know, this is just day one. Let me get the rust off real quick. We're gonna have moments. You know, we're gonna have moments where we lose. We're gonna have moments where we eat, and so, you know, definitely just getting through this trend real quick. Because I'm telling you, once we start to take out some highs, we form these daily fair value gaps. Can almost guarantee. I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee nothing, but I can almost say that we're going to come down, retest these areas, and when we start to look for longs from here, we will be ready to take it all the way up here. But if we end up drawing all the way to these highs before that moment, no, not at all. I just need to get out of that mentality of trying to short this beast. I mean, this freaking behemoth. And like, even you know, again, here I was talking about, you know, here's our M5 fair value gap with the change in the state of delivery. Even though we inverted it, no change in the state of delivery lower. We respected, I'm going to say this is respected because we didn't shift structure down. But same scenario. The same thing that was burning us, that burned us, where were we at? Right here. The same thing that burned us here, the same thing that, or actually it was right here in this leg and price. Boom, made a new high. We shifted structure down. This one actually would have been a little bit better because on the retest, we made a new low at least. And then once we made a new low, now we're hitting that pump. And so, you know, we retested where that change in the state of delivery happened, and now we're about to make a new high. Oh yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me yap because I mean, there's we're gonna have moments of greatness. I'm manifesting it for us. It's just we just need to, get on the right side of the curve of things, and I feel like, you know, things are gonna turn out, and like there's a new high. Like this was a trade idea that I missed out on, but even if I'm just paper trading it and showing you guys, opportunity that potentially could work, it's just I'm not going to sit here and keep firing away even though I'm down $1,400. Like we took 3 losses today and 1 win. They're and ironically, the 1 long was the win, and the 3 losses. I think we're 1 for 3 today, but all the losses came from trying to short this shit. And so, clearly the market isn't wanting to move down. Tyrone's, no, I do not go to college. I dropped out to do this full time. Like here, I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing right now. I don't know if you can see it because the glare. You guys see, or is it glare? Maybe if I... The glare is terrible. Well, that's unfortunate for you guys. Maybe if I point it over there. Oh. There's no way for me to bring my camera with me. So actually, I don't think anybody's. Let me see if anybody's still live on YouTube. All right, yeah, I'll give you guys a special tour. Let me see if anybody's live on YouTube. There's 8 people watching. All right, anybody in the YouTube chat? Join the Discord. I'm about to go live here, but I'm gonna end the stream on YouTube, end the stream on TikTok. Oh my goodness. I mean, going live on TikTok is just so stupid. I mean, you get flagged for everything. I don't even know how to speak without swearing, and maybe that's my problem. Firm. Hey, have a good one. I'll be live tomorrow. Hey, Alex, I brought that out here just to chill out, man. Where's your little high rise, huh, Alex? All right. I'm ending the stream. I'm gonna hop right back on. Peace out, YouTube. Join the Discord link if you're here. Kick. Let me see if anybody's even on there. Kick. And then I'll give you guys a house tour.
Kaze can stop this though. Kaze can stop this though.
2 viewers.
Kaze can stop this though.
All right, let's turn this off. Stop all. Stop.